Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
The hum of flying vehicles echoed above the busy streets of Neo-Tokyo. Holographic advertisements flickered, displaying vibrant images of intergalactic travels and exotic destinations across the galaxy. Humanity had come a long way since the days of solitary existence on Earth, now sharing the cosmos with a multitude of alien races. Yet, amid the technological advances and cross-species collaborations, one human found solace in the familiar backdrop of his mundane life. Rahul stood by the window of his cramped apartment, gazing out at the neon lights dancing against the night sky. He was an unassuming man in his late 20s, with unruly dark hair and kind eyes that held a glimmer of mischief. The world outside was a swirl of excitement, but he felt a nagging emptiness, a lingering sense of longing for something more profound. His closest friend, Zelther, had always been a source of that profound connection. The old alien, with his shimmering emerald skin and elongated limbs, was a distinguished member of the Quarreled Free. Having battled against the laws of time and space, he had settled on Earth decades ago, taking on the role of a mentor and brotherly figure for Rahul. They often shared laughter and stories over tea in Zelther's uniquely furnished residence, filled with artifacts from across the universe. A shrill beep from his hollow communicator jolted Rahul from his thoughts. It was a message from Zelther. "Meet me at the marketplace. I have something important to discuss." A sense of urgency filled Rahul as he grabbed his jacket and headed out. The marketplace was alive with the voices of humans and aliens alike, trading goods and sharing stories. Rahul weaved through the crowded stalls, his heart racing as he anticipated what profound wisdom his friend had to share this time. "Rahul!" Zelther's voice rang out, cutting through the cacophony. The alien stood near a vendor selling luminous fruits, a staple of Quarrel cuisine. He looked weak, his vibrant skin dulled, and his eyes dimmed with worry. "Zelther, you look—" Rahul began, but the old alien raised a hand, silencing him. "I am not long for this world, my dear friend," he said, his voice a blend of warmth and sorrow. "But there are matters of great importance that must be addressed." Rahul's heart sank. The thought of losing someone who meant so much to him was unbearable. "In my culture," Zelther continued, a trembling edge to his voice, "familial bonds dictate our legacies. Upon my passing, you will inherit the care of my daughters, Lyra and Tara." Rahul's eyes widened. "Daughters? I didn't even know you had children." Zelther nodded. "Two beautiful souls, each with the power to shape their destinies. But there is a law, one that binds you to them." He paused, his gaze piercing through Rahul's apprehension. "You must marry them to fulfill your duty to me." Stunned silence enveloped them, and as Rahul processed the weight of Zelther's words, he felt the ground beneath him shift. The night seemed darker, and the future more uncertain than ever. Rahul stood frozen, the world around him now a blur. Zelther's revelation churned in his mind like a tumultuous storm. The bustling marketplace faded away, replaced by a heavy silence that felt all-consuming. Marrying Zelther's daughters? It seemed entirely unimaginable, yet here it was, a looming reality that demanded his attention. "Zelther, Rahul began, but the old alien raised a hand again, this time with a semblance of urgency. "Listen closely, my friend," Zelther urged, his voice barely above a whisper. "This law is not simply a formality. It ensures that my daughters are protected and that our legacy continues. They hold within them power and a connection to the Quarreled that cannot be severed unless by choice." Rahul felt the weight of responsibility settle upon his shoulders. The idea of marrying not one, but two alien women was a concept that spiraled into a whirlpool of anxiety and confusion. "Why me?" he pressed, needing to understand why he was chosen for such a duty. "There must be others more qualified." "Many would seek them for power or status," Zelther replied, his voice firm despite his frailty. "But you, Rahul, have a heart capable of love and understanding. You've treated me as family, and as such, my daughters deserve a guardian who will value them above all else." Rahul closed his eyes, taking a moment to breathe. He respected Zelther immensely, and the thought of failing him was unbearable. But could he truly step into such a role? Where are they? He finally asked, his heart racing as he prepared for the encounter that awaited him. Follow me, Zelther instructed, leading Rahul through the crowded marketplace towards a small, sunlit courtyard. The atmosphere shifted as they entered, a whimsical garden, filled with alien flora and softly glowing bioluminescent plants, towering above them like ancient sentinels. In the center of the courtyard stood the two daughters of Zelther. Lyra, the elder, was a striking figure with iridescent blue hair cascading down her back and eyes that shimmered like twin stars. Her demeanor was steady and confident, yet there was a hint of trepidation behind her gaze. Terra, the younger of the two, bore a more playful disposition. Her lavender skin radiated youthfulness and curiosity, accented by a cascade of bright orange curls. Father, Lyra's voice was filled with concern as she rushed forward. You called for us? As their eyes fell upon Rahul, an awkward silence enveloped the air. The weight of their expectant gazes made Rahul acutely aware of the gravity of the situation. Zelther processed their expressions before straightening himself, gathering his strength one last time. Daughters, I have shared with Rahul the nature of our bond. As per our customs, he will be your protector and partner in life, Zelther announced, the gravity of the words settling in like a dense fog. Lyra's eyes widened, confusion etched across her features, while Terra's expression revealed a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. But father, Lyra interjected, we barely know him. Why him? Zelther turned to them, his voice a soothing balm. Rahul has proven his loyalty, kindness, and strength of character. He will care for you as I would have, and through him, our family's legacy will endure. Rahul found himself swallowed by the intensity of their stares, one filled with skepticism, the other with a spark of intrigue. Unsure of how to approach this new reality, he racked his mind for the right words to say. I'll do my best to honor your father's wishes, he stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. What does that even mean? Terra's youthful exuberance was laced with genuine curiosity. What is marrying us supposed to look like? Is this an Earth thing or a Quarrel thing? Because we don't really know about either, do we? Rahul chuckled nervously, taken aback by Terra's straightforwardness. Honestly, I'm not sure. I've never had to think about marrying anyone, let alone two people from a different world. But if I had the opportunity to get to know you both, I'd be willing to try. Lyra stepped forward, assessing him with those profound, luminous eyes. Try. This is not a game. Our lives and futures are intertwined with this decision. Rahul nodded, understanding the gravity of what lay before him. He glanced from Lyra to Terra, both beautiful and extraordinary in their unique ways. I know it may not be fair, but I want to learn. I want to understand who you both are and what this means for all of us. Zelther observed his daughters, the corner of his mouth lifting into a proud smile. The journey has just begun, my dear friends. Together, you will write your own story, one that reflects your hearts, your struggles, and your love. As the weight of his words echoed in the air, uncertainty still loomed over Rahul like a storm cloud, but a flicker of hope ignited within him. If they could share their lives and build a new family, perhaps they could find their way together. In the days following Zelther's passing, Rahul found himself thrust into a world of intricate customs and uncharted territory. The initial shock of his new reality began to subside, replaced by a mixture of trepidation, curiosity, and the bizarre excitement of navigating the complexities of forming bonds with Lyra and Terra. Their first days together were a montage of uncertainty and awkwardness. Rahul was acutely aware of the stark differences in their backgrounds. While he was familiar with Earth's urban hustle and bustle, Lyra and Terra carried the weight of Quarrel traditions, with long histories tied closely to their values and expectations. Let's start with dinner, Terra suggested one evening, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm as she pawed through the array of holographic cookbooks strewn across the kitchen table. We should have a feast worthy of our union. Feast, Rahul echoed, the thought causing his stomach to rumble with a mix of nerves and hunger. What do you usually eat on Quarrel? So many things. Lyra chimed in, her confidence reinvigorated as she rummaged through a drawer of futuristic cooking tools. We possess the finest fruits, vegetables, and proteins. Our meals are vibrantly colored and filled with energy. With their enthusiasm infectious, Rahul followed their lead into the kitchen. The trio found themselves embroiled in a delightful chaos, mixing ingredients that pulsated with life and flavor. What about that? Rahul pointed at a bright, green substance that shimmered under the fluorescent lights. That's Cernian puree. You might want to tread lightly, Lyra teased. It's known for its spicy qualities. We quarreled love bold flavors. With a bravado born of camaraderie, Rahul took a dollop of the puree and added it to the frying pan. As the mixture sizzled, Tara spritzed it with a luminescent oil, filling the air with tantalizing fragrances that stirred Rahul's senses. Okay, so how do we do this? Rahul asked, glancing at both Lyra and Tara as they set the table with peculiar, glowing platters. Is there a certain way to eat? Tara smirked, folding her arms. You Earthlings are funny. You don't have a specific way of dining? Maybe we should make our meal a ceremony. You know, to commemorate our new family? Lyra held back a laugh. We can certainly make it official, but let's make it fun too. As they dined on the extravagant spread, delicious energy-infused dishes piled high, Rahul felt an unexpected warmth blossoming between them. Conversation flowed. Stories of their childhoods danced about the table. Rahul shared stories of Earth's mundane realities, sharing prideful tales of his childhood antics, while Lyra and Tara responded with tales of their adventures on Quarlt, filled with vibrant landscapes and challenges faced in their upbringing. In this shared space, walls that had felt insurmountable began to crumble. That was wonderful, but are there any human delicacies we should incorporate? Lyra asked, wiping her mouth with an alien cloth vibrant in color. Well, I could show you how to make pizza next time, Rahul suggested, laughing at the incredulous looks on their faces. Pizza, Tara echoed, her voice full of wonder as she tried to mimic the word with her unique accent. Lyra gently elbowed Tara, a playful smirk on her face. I bet that has layers. We might need to expand our palate. Their laughter drifted into the evening as they wrapped up their meal. However, deeper discussions laid ahead, conversations of culture and intimacy. Rahul, Lyra ventured one evening, a hint of seriousness returning to her tone. What does it mean to you to marry us? We need to understand your heart. For us, it's not just about a contract or duty. It's a union entwined with emotion. Her words hung in the air like a melody, beckoning Rahul to share the truth of his feelings. It was a question that required forthrightness, something that had eluded him amidst the whirlwind of emotions. I want to be honest, he began, choosing his words carefully. This was all a shock to me. The idea of marrying you both feels surreal, but there is something magical about both of you. You have hearts that feel deeply and lives that resonate with adventure. If I am to take this step, it would mean embracing your world and allowing us to create something new together. Tara's eyes sparkled with curiosity. And how do you envision us as a family? I think it will be different, unlike what anyone else has. We would explore both our cultures, create traditions. You would bring your vibrancy and warmth into my life, and I could share the joys of Earth with you. Rahul looked at them earnestly. Maybe we can invent our own unique family customs, drawing from the best of both our worlds. Lyra glanced at Tara, her expression softening. It may take time to adjust. The universe often throws formidable challenges our way. But a spark of determination glimmered in her eyes, adding warmth to her words. Can I hold your hands? Tara asked suddenly, her curiosity overtaking her. I've never held an Earthling's hand before. The request felt light-hearted enough to ease the tension, and both Rahul and Lyra chuckled as they extended their hands toward Tara. In a gentle but deliberate motion, Tara placed her hands atop theirs, the sensation intriguing and binding. Rahul glanced at Lyra, their eyes locking momentarily, revealing the shared understanding of the boundaries they were about to cross. There was an electricity in the air, feelings simmering beneath the surface, seeking connection. This is just the beginning, Rahul said softly, breaking the silence that had settled around them. We'll learn together, we'll adapt, and we will forge a bond. That night, as they settled into their respective rooms, Each carried a heart filled with anticipation and hope. The barriers between them were still daunting, yet they felt lighter, illuminated by the flickering promise of something beautiful waiting to blossom. As days turned into weeks, Rahul, Lyra, and Tara forged a bond that was both exhilarating and terrifying. The novelty of their unique arrangement began to wear, revealing the deeper complexities that came with blending two worlds, human and quarreled. While their dinners became more adventurous with culinary discoveries, conversations grew more weighty, touching on the inevitable cultural differences, expectations, and the pressures surrounding them. One evening, after a particularly lively dinner filled with laughter and food experiments, a shadow fell over the atmosphere. Tara was the first to sense it, her cheerful demeanor fading. "Is everything okay?" she asked, tilting her head in concern. Lyra looked pensive, her brow furrowing. "I've been thinking, what will happen when other quarreled discover our arrangement? Will they understand?" Rahul leaned back in his chair, suddenly aware of the societal challenges they would face. "I hadn't considered that," he admitted, running a hand through his hair. "But it's essential we face it together, right? United." Lyra sighed. "You don't know how traditions and customs bind our people. Many quarreled families regard interspecies unions with disdain. They see marrying a human as a betrayal of our identity." A chill crept up Rahul's spine. The thought of facing prejudice and judgment loomed over him, filling him with anxiety. But that's not fair. Love shouldn't be governed by race or species. "Easier said than done," Lyra snapped, her frustration surfacing. "I want to believe we can change perceptions, but you don't know how fierce the beliefs run in my community. There are those who will never accept this." Before Rahul could respond, a hollow message peeled through the air, vibrating across the table. It was from Lirith, a prominent elder and Lyra's uncle, known for his fierce traditional values. Rahul's heart pounded as he came to understand the gravity of what awaited, the disruption of their fragile new life. The message unveiled the invitation to a traditional gathering where union matters would be discussed. Lyra's eyes flickered with apprehension, casting worried glances at her sister. "Rahul," Lyra began hesitantly, "this is important. If you're to be with us, you should attend." Tara nodded, wide-eyed. "You can't just hide away. It's a ceremony, and you're an integral piece of it now." "What happens if I don't fit in?" Rahul questioned, the nagging insecurity creeping back in. Amidst their laughter and joy, the reality of the situation caught up to him. How could he stand against the judgment of a community that might never accept him? Lyra reached across the table, squeezing his hand with sincerity. "You must believe that love can bridge the gaps. I want to introduce you in the brightest of lights to show them who you truly are." That night, Rahul lay awake, staring at the ceiling, anxiety tightening around his chest. Could he truly face the scrutiny of Lyra's family? Dark thoughts swirled in his mind, of not being enough, of failing Lyra and Tara. The following day came all too quickly. Rahul dressed in his best attire, a blend of human style with an alien twist, bringing together traditions from both worlds. With a deep breath, he resolved to show up at the gathering regardless of the odds stacked against him. As they arrived at the venue, a vast hall adorned with choral decor, Rahul felt overwhelmed. The walls were lined with luminescent art, the stories of their people etched in light. Aliens of various shapes and sizes mingled, laughter mingling with the soft hum of stringed instruments playing in the background. "This is beautiful," he murmured, captivated yet nervous. Lyra led the way, her grace accompanied by an air of confidence that eased some of Rahul's fears. However, Tara's youthful amiability failed to shield them from the uncertain glances of many elders present, who whispered among themselves as they eyed their unorthodox trio. "Stay close to me," Lyra whispered as they approached a seated circle of elders. Her heart raced as she sensed the scrutiny bearing down upon them. "Gather, gather," Lirith commanded, his authoritative voice cutting through the murmurs. With dignified presence, he stood at the center, the embodiment of ancestral traditions. The group assembled around him, their eyes fixated on Lirith as he began his address. "Today, we discuss the union of our sacred line with a creature of Earth," he said, a deliberate pause rippling through the gathering. "It beckons questions, feelings of uncertainty amidst our values. The atmosphere shifted. A ripple of unease filled the air, and Rahul felt every gaze bore down on him like a heavy weight. "Lyra," Lirith continued, his expression stoic, "why have you chosen this course? Were you so blinded by curiosity that you overlooked our customs?" "Father Lirith," Lyra's voice was unwavering as she stepped forward, "Rahul embodies the goodness in our hearts. This is not merely a choice of rebellion. It's a bond formed in love and respect for each other. We desire a shared future, one that unites our species rather than divides." Murmurs flickered amongst the elders, an audible clash of skepticism and curiosity. Faced with the judgment of the circle, Rahul felt the heat of uncertainty on his face. How would he respond? He didn't possess Lyra's eloquence. Steeling himself, he stepped forward. "I may be a human, but my love for your daughters transcends any boundary. I cherish Lyra and Terra for who they are, not the species they represent." The hall fell silent, every alien eye fixated on him. Taking a breath to steady his racing heart, he continued, "What binds us is our choice to discover one another and to build a future free of prejudice. Why can't love be the binding force instead of tradition?" Lirith's expression hardened, but emotion flickered behind his eyes. "And if this union weakens the very essence of the quarrel?" "It won't," Rahul replied, a newfound determination surging through him. "I intend to embrace your culture, partake in your ceremonies, and learn. We can blend both worlds, using our differences to enrich one another. Together, we can redefine what family looks like." A tense moment passed, uncertainty swirling through the crowd like a tempest. Then, Lirith's gaze softened as he assessed the determination emanating from Rahul, the sincerity in his voice. "Your words are commendable, Earthling. The journey ahead will not be easy, but you must prove your dedication." With that, the elders exchanged glances, murmurs of somewhat approving nature milling within the assembly. The first barrier began to crack, and for the first time, Rahul could feel a shift. Watching Lyra and Terra's faces light up, hope sparked within him. Perhaps, just perhaps, they could carve a space for themselves amid the myriad challenges confronting them. Holding each other's hands, they were ready to face whatever awaited them together. A stepping stone into the unknown, but one that held the promise of shared love and adventure ahead. With the tension of the elders' gathering still echoing in his mind, Rahul returned home with Lyra and Terra, feeling a mixture of relief and apprehension. The expression on their faces illuminated the dimly lit space of their shared apartment, and for the first time, Rahul sensed a palpable shift in their dynamics. The ceremony had left them at a crossroads, an emerging direction that beckoned the intertwining of their lives. Sitting together in the living room, Rahul leaned forward, steeling himself for the conversation that had to occur. As intense as today was, "I think we need to discuss something that..." His heart raced. "Well, has been weighing on my mind. Our future involves more than just love or heritage. We are talking about mating, of creating our family bond in its fullest sense." Terra's eyes sparkled with curiosity, while Lyra's expression turned serious. "Mating," Terra repeated, testing the word on her tongue. "That's a big step, isn't it?" "It is," Rahul nodded. "But it's also a natural part of deepening our connection, and something that, well, I think we should explore together." Lyra leaned back, her gaze penetrating. In coral culture, mating is treated as a sacred bond, an intimate joining of souls destined to thrive together. It's a commitment, but it also aligns with our customs of family. We need to be prepared for that level of closeness. Terra bounced with enthusiasm. "I want to understand everything about it. We could learn together. Mating isn't just physical, but a connection of hearts and minds too. Right?" "Yes." Rahul smiled, grateful for Terra's spirit. "It means being open with each other, understanding how we can intertwine our desires and emotions while respecting our differences. It's about creating something unique together." Lyra nodded, but with a hint of hesitance. "We need to be mindful of the laws of our people. The elders will expect us to solidify this union publicly. How we express our mating will reflect on us. Can we do that?" Rahul asked, feeling the gravity of the situation. Can the three of us truly create a unique bond amid all the expectations? After a moment of silence, Lyra spoke, her voice tinged with determination. If we commit to this, we will need to approach mating not just as a physical act, but as a holistic joining. It involves our emotions, respect, and transparency, particularly with each other. Tara grinned, her enthusiasm reflecting in her sparkling eyes. Let's do it. Let's explore our feelings, our desires. I'm so excited. The atmosphere shifted as they embraced the prospect of what lay ahead. There was a current of warmth and connection growing among them, setting the stage for deep intimacy. They soon made a plan to go on adventures together, using the time to build trust and understanding, further preparing for the path towards mating. Over the next few days, they embarked on a series of experiences, exploring the lush parks of Earth, visiting coral botanical gardens, and participating in dance ceremonies that intermingled both cultures. Each shared experience brought them closer together, allowing them space to express their feelings without the weight of judgment pressing down upon them. Yet, as the days passed, Rahul could feel the tension materializing within him. The fear of not living up to expectations began to eat away at his confidence. He needed to express himself not only emotionally, but also physically. The thought of mating with Lyra and Tara brought a whirlwind of emotions that ranged from longing to uncertainty. One evening, as twilight descended upon their living space, the three of them found themselves wrapped in a cozy blanket, resting after a long day's exploration. An enticing electric energy crackled in the air, and Rahul turned to the sisters, heart pounding. "I want to talk about where we go from here." "About mating," he said, courage bubbling within him. "As partners, it's essential for us to experience the intimacy that comes with it." Lyra glanced at Tara, who looked intrigued. "Intimacy," she echoed, pushing a curl behind her ear. "What do you envision?" "I envision us taking our time to explore the depths of our bond, both physically and emotionally," Rahul replied, feeling their eyes scrutinize him. "We could create a ritual, join our bodies and souls, bringing a layer of connection that truly symbolizes our love for each other." He could feel the weight of their gazes. The moment hung heavy with anticipation. "I believe this can deepen our commitment, an act of love that binds us beyond just the physical realm." Tara leaned forward, her voice a soft whisper. "I find the idea of a mating ritual enchanting. We could incorporate elements from both our cultures, shape it into something uniquely ours." Lyra nodded, her breath catching, her anxiety melding with eagerness. "We could tether ourselves in a moment that echoes through our souls. The blending of our species should celebrate our uniqueness, not diminish it." An electric pulse coursed through the air as Rahul reached for their hands, interlocking their fingers. "Then let's not hesitate. Let's create a space where we honor the physical connection, the emotional bonds we share, and intertwine our souls through mating." With breathless anticipation, the trio discussed details, planning a night infused with intention, a melding of their hearts and bodies. As they strategized how to weave their rituals together, the nervous tension transformed into excitement. That night, as they prepared for the ritual, they painted their bodies in soft colors, mixing ingredients from both their cultures to symbolize their intentions. The soft glow illuminated the room, creating an atmosphere thick with love. "This is our moment," Rahul whispered softly, looking at Lyra, then Tara. The shimmering colors on their skin highlighted the beauty of their differences, the perfect blend of their worlds. As they drew closer, uncertainty washed away. This was more than just a physical joining. It was about love, trust, and the promises they made to one another. Their hearts beat in unison as they embarked on this intimate journey together, ready to explore the depths of their bond, exploring not only their chemistry, but intertwining their very beings in a profound exhale of love. As the soft glow of the candles flickered around the room, Rahul, Lyra, and Tara stood together, the air thick with anticipation. The carefully planned ritual felt both exhilarating and sacred, a culmination of their emotions, desires, and the commitment they had begun to forge among themselves. Tara looked at Rahul, her expression a mix of excitement and a hint of nervousness. "Are you ready for this?" Rahul nodded, trying to convey the confidence he felt inside. "Yes, I am. Let's embrace this together, every part of it." Lyra reached out, intertwining her fingers with both of theirs, her gaze steady and reassuring. We may be embarking on something extraordinary, but we must remember that this is a journey we take together. The bond we are about to forge goes deeper than we can imagine. With their hearts pounding in synchronization, they settled onto the vibrant mat that adorned the floor, a blend of Earth's textiles and coral designs symbolizing the union of their worlds. Lyra guided them through a series of breaths, synchronized inhalations and exhalations that connected them in a deeper, transcendent way. Exhaling together, a wave of calmness washed over them. Once settled, they began sharing their intentions. Tara spoke first, her voice carrying a lightness that contrasted the seriousness of the moment. I want this bond to symbolize more than just a ritual. I want it to stand for acceptance, love, and unity. A way for us to celebrate the blending of our cultures. It has to enhance our relationship, Rahul added, feeling the warmth of their hands tighten. I want to learn, to experience, and to grow with both of you. This isn't just physical. It reflects all that we are. Lyra smiled, her eyes softening. And for me, it signifies trust and the inherent strength we share as a family. This bond is our future, and it holds the power to change perceptions, both mine and with those around us. With renewed determination fueling them, they embraced the ritual's rhythm. As the night deepened, they explored the mapping of their bodies, tracing fingertips across skin, discovering the places where a touch intensified their connection. Giggling and laughter punctuated their actions, lightening the atmosphere with joy. They lay close, feeling the warmth radiate from one another, a symbiotic energy enveloping them in serene intimacy. As the ritual blossomed under the gentle light, they recited words of commitment that melded their senses, promises to always be there, to cherish each other not just in love, but in companionship, fighting against the world's judgments together. When the moment came to seal their union, they faced one another, the sense of anticipation palpable. Tara began, her voice a blend of excitement and reverence. We enter this as equals, three unique individuals merging into one entity, one family. Let our love bind us, transcending races and cultures. Lyra nodded, expressing her agreement with her sister. In this moment, we create a new legacy, a family that challenges norms and opens the door to acceptance. As Rahul gazed into the eyes of the women he cherished, an overwhelming sense of love surged within him. Then let it be spoken. Together we vow to embrace our differences, finding strength in unity. Let our hearts and bodies meld, becoming a beacon of our shared love. They leaned in closer, their bodies poised to intertwine in the sacred act of mating that held their own meanings, an act that celebrated both their differences and their newfound harmony. When they finally became one, a euphoric wave washed over them, a profound emotion that connected their souls through the essence of their beings. As the world around them faded, they lost themselves in the unity of shared breaths and synchronized heartbeats. In that moment, time ceased to exist, leaving only the profound feeling of love that anchored them together, illuminating the very essence of their bond. Afterward, they lay tangled together, formed still aglow in the afterglow of their intimacy. Exhausted yet exhilarated, each felt a new layer of their connection. The melding of their souls had forged a fresh understanding within their hearts. Lyra nestled closer, a blissful smile painting her face. I never imagined this as more than I could have ever hoped for. Me too, Tara added, her voice soft yet filled with wonder. This feels right. True alignment. Rahul felt a warmth blossom in his chest, their combined energy pulsating as if it was alive. This is just the beginning. Together, we can create something beautiful. No matter the challenges that await us from the world outside, we carry this bond as our strength. As the candlelight whispered softly around them, they drifted into a serene sleep, dreams woven together in a tapestry of love and hope, a new alliance framed within a family bound by their own unique legacy. Days turned to weeks, weaving the threads of Rahul, Lyra, and Tara's lives into a vibrant tapestry. Their bond continued to grow, blooming with love, laughter, and an unwavering commitment to each other. The experience of mating had solidified their unity, granting them strength enough to face the world together. As they ventured into the bustling life of Neo Tokyo, They navigated the curious glances and whispered judgments of strangers who struggled to understand their unconventional family. But bolstered by the strength of their connection, they approached every challenge with courage and resilience. One sunny afternoon, they stood hand in hand in the heart of a prestigious intergalactic fair, showcasing various cultures through art, music, and traditions. It was an opportunity for them to present their unique union, to share their blended story with others. "Let's show them who we are," Tara exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. They set up a booth, merging bright colors and symbols representative of both the Earth and Coral traditions. With artworks depicting their journey hung proudly above them and aromas from familiar dishes wafting through the air, they welcomed curious passers-by. Rahul served Coral-inspired snacks, while Lyra engaged guests with tales of their life together. Tara entertained with vibrant dances that resonated with joy and play. But amid the celebration, the trio prepared for a significant moment, the first public revelation of their relationship to Lyra's family and community. Just as they had planned, they took the stage to share their story, allowing their journey to unfold in front of an audience. As Tara began to speak, she looked out at the sea of curious faces. "We are here to challenge boundaries. We have created a bond that honors both our coral heritage and our human existence," she declared, lifting a hand. "Our love is a testament to unity, acceptance, and courage." Lyra followed, her voice unwavering. "This family is built not only on our connection, but on the richness of our experiences, of understanding and nurturing one another. Together, we can redefine what family means to all of us." Rahul concluded, his heart beating wildly. "We stand here not just as individuals, but as a family that embodies love without limitations, proving that the heart knows no boundaries." Applause erupted, echoing through the hall as smiles and support emerged from unexpected corners. Family members who once held reservations began to soften, realizing the beauty in their union. Faces transformed, some filled with indifference, now lit up with curiosity, opening doors to discussion rather than division. As the weeks passed, perceptions continued to shift. Old prejudices waned as their tale reverberated through the community. Over time, they formed friendships that brought together voices from both human and coral backgrounds, fostering a community grounded in acceptance. Together, Rahul, Lyra, and Tara explored new possibilities, journeying to the coral homeworld, introducing each other to new customs, blending their traditions. They celebrated life's joys, shared the burdens of challenges, and nurtured an extraordinary love that transcended the stars. In their hearts, they cultivated a desire to inspire others to embrace the beauty of differences, knowing that love could transform not only their lives, but the world around them. And so, they stood hand in hand under the starlit sky, gazing out at the universe before them, their futures intertwined, a family forged in love, united against the cosmos and its challenges. Whatever lay ahead, they faced it together, their hearts beating as one. As seasons passed, Rahul, Lyra, and Tara continued to thrive as pioneers of love, each moment showcasing the power of unity. Together, they embarked on adventures across galaxies, but home was not just a place. It lay in each other's hearts, built upon trust, understanding, and the beautiful melding of two worlds. Their family grew, not just through bonds of blood, but through shared laughter, challenges overcome, and the promise of a legacy that echoed far beyond their realities, a testament to the beauty found when love, in all its forms, flourishes. Together, they redefined what it meant to be a family, an everlasting example for generations to come.